So as we talk about data, there is this urgency to have real-time data. And I want you to kind of share your thoughts on how important is real-time data as opposed to the idea of near time, and in what scenarios do we actually need real-time data, and when can we rely on maybe that second best of near time?
Yeah, I think it's a really great question, Emma, and a really important question, because everybody who gets into data and data science for the first time believes that they need one perfect data. Now, to a degree, if you're making a life decision, like whether someone has breast cancer or not, you certainly want the most accurate data as possible. But if you're looking at an outbound marketing campaign and want to make a very general decision to identify a particular cohort of people, you don't. But data, and there's lots of it, actually costs a lot of money to mine, to curate, to store, and then to do data science and data analytics on top of it. So it's certainly not free, and that's the impression that people shouldn't get. But, data is available everywhere. And once you've got it, then you have, as you say, the right to make a real-time decision. And let me give you an example here. So if I'm doing a particular quote for a customer in an insurance brokerage, then I want enough data there at that moment in time to allow me to produce a price. Because if we don't produce a price in real time for a customer, they're going to go somewhere else. And therefore, I want their credit data, I want their risk data, I want to look up maybe floodplain data, where their house is sitting, or hurricanes, or whatever else, depending on where you are in the world. So that frontline, first-to-hand, real-time data is key, credit scores and everything else. But if I actually take the example of insurance brokerage again, and I look at customers that I'm attempting to renew, then I might want to run some data science that gives each of those customers a particular score. For example, you might have a customer lifetime value score. So in other words, if a customer stays with us 1 year, they might be worth $500. If they stay with us 5 years, they might be worth $2,500, and you may be able to sell them other types of insurance, like a home policy or a renter's policy or something else. And that data does not have to be real or real time. That's an example of near time data. So coming up to renewal policy time, I might want my analytics team to run some of those analytics that, based on past customer behavior and customers in that particular segment, what is this customer likely to do? In other words, will they stay or will they go? What channels will they buy on, or where will they be most receptive to take my call or contact? Or how do I get them over the line at the least acquisition cost as possible to allow me to expand that customer lifetime value element? And that's a place where you don't need real time, as in the immediate now data, to make an immediate decision. Because normally when you're in insurance brokerage selling, for example, car insurance, you can run that data 30 days out, because most people renew roughly day 21 to day 6 to day 1 in the real world. The other one is also, another example might be bonus. So we pay our sales staffs in organizations, bonus data. That's looking back over the prior month. And you normally run those figures to pay in a payroll 1 month later. That doesn't need to be real time right now, on the button accurate data. So I think when organizations are coming in, they need to look at all of the things that they're doing in the organization. They need to look at where they might use data insight to make decisions, take directions or whatever else, or make judgments. And then decide whether that needs to be right now, up to date, fully accurate. That's the on the button stuff, the real time, or whether they can actually allow the data maybe not to be as accurate or not to be as in real time, and then adjust their resourcing and their costs of acquiring, filtering, tidying, and presenting that data accordingly. So those would be a couple of examples, Emma, of right now, need it on the button, and doesn't have to be quite on the button now, and therefore we can take time and not spend as much money.